It's late at night, but here I am, grinding. Stuck in traffic. I'm going to give this a minute to build up, and then I'm going to break in. I got an awesome lesson for you today. I'm going to get deep with you. It's been a long day, and I learned some shit today, and I'm about to share this with you. It's going to blow your mind. But we're going to wait for this audience to build. Never mind, I'm not in the Maserati. Y'all don't know this, but while I was gone from Facebook, I got a Ford truck. You know, you can't really be a Texan without a Ford truck. It's just not right. So, hear that I got that going for me. But give me a couple minutes. I'm going to kick in with y'all. Let the audience build. It's showing right there. What's up, John Baker? Dude, John Baker, you 16 years old, read every book I've wrote, follows my blog posts, dedicated to being a winner. That's the fuck I'm talking about, John Baker. You a bad motherfucker. Dwayne Stepp changed your life, man. You come on, learn the shit from Break Free Academy, and you left the mundane car business, and now you sell to the same people that used to take your money. What's up, Danielle? Tribe Life! That's what I'm talking about. So, now we got some people on here. I'm going to talk to you. I left at 4 o'clock this morning. I left my house. I went to the airport. I flew to Nashville, Tennessee. In Nashville, Tennessee, I spoke with Maverick Management. If y'all don't know who that is, look them up. Your favorite artists, they fucking run that shit. And spent most of the day with people in the talent business in Tennessee because I'm trying to make my way in the music business with my homie and my partner and one of my best friends, Dustin Black. He's a good-ass dude. If you're not following him on Instagram, Dustin Black, check him out. But, you know, Dustin and I, we come from, like, the same humble beginnings. That's what I love about him, man. The dude is just balling. Like, we rolled around all day in a Rolls Royce. He lives next door to, like, celebrities and superstars. Similar life to mine. I don't got a Rolls Royce. But, I mean, we live similar lives. I got a Maserati. Does that count for something? I'm not quite as cool as Dustin, but I'm working on it. But what I'm getting at is, you know, Dustin and I came from the same beginnings, right? We came from shit. You know, he was talking about, you know, and it's in this book that I helped him write, that I wrote the foreword for. It's going to be out soon. That, you know, his mom had been married 5 times. Shit, his mom sounds like me at this point. But his mom had been married 5 times. You know, he came from very humble beginnings and everything else. And today I learned man, I'm talking about, Dustin's one of my clients, right? He's one of the tribe members. We got a business together. Today I learned such a valuable lesson from him. I couldn't help it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait for Alex. And that's my professional production guy. I'm going to wait for Alex, and I'm going to make this video with Alex. But I couldn't fucking wait, dude. I had to make this oh, shit. Looks like we got traffic trouble. Is there a wreck up here? Y'all got to mind, like, never mind me. I'm trying to drive and not die and make this video for you. This is how important it is. But I learned a very valuable lesson from Dustin today. And I always learn something when I'm around them. I mean, that's the beauty of surrounding yourself with people that are consistently leveling up. But Dustin and I were talking today, and I had some serious revelation. I'm going to share it with you. I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm adopted. At age 6, my name was Ryan Russell McCord. At age 7, I was adopted, and my name changed to Ryan Keith Stewman. Now, I don't know if you've ever had to go through changes in your life, but when you change your name, and it's only like the next day, it's like one day you're this person, and the next day you're a different person, basically, because words matter. And I had to go through this massive change as a young man, and this adaptation from being Ryan Russell McCord to Ryan Keith Stewman, and it was hard. I mean, it really was. You know, people judged me. Small town. I lived in a town of 1,500 people, so people were like, you know, when I was in school, they were like, wait, weren't you somebody else last year? What the fuck, right? And it was weird in the 3rd grade. It really was. But my entire life, I have been in this, like, fight mode. And now, I don't mean fight as in, like, punch your jaw, which it might come to that, but I mean fight as in, like, nobody's ever been on my team, I feel like. You know, my dad left me at an early age, and then I was obviously adopted by somebody else, and then the person I was adopted by, they were fucking flakes, just like most adopted parents. They didn't know how to fucking deal with somebody like me. Man, I got entrepreneurial ADD and all this other shit, troublemaker. It's not that I was a troublemaker, it was just people don't fucking understand what I was up to, my teachers and none of that, and they were all like, he's either retarded or brilliant, we're not sure. Just fucking get him out of our system because he's fucking weirding us out, right? And you know what? I don't hold nothing against those folks, but my whole life going through that adversity, you know, my mom not understanding me, my dad not understanding me not having a blood relationship with the people around me, and like it molded me as a young man and shit as an adult to be in this like, fuck it, I don't need nobody, you know, like by the time I was 7, I just told you, my dad gave me up for adoption. My real dad, like, you know, as a young man, my boys are 5 and 6 right now. I'm their fucking hero. If you ask my kids who they want to be when they grow up or what they want to do when they grow up, they don't tell you fireman, policeman. They don't tell you none of that shit. They'll say, I want to be a closer, right? Like, and I looked at my dad in the same way. He was my hero and he gave me up. And so at an early age, I was taught this mentality of like, you know what? At one point, everybody's going to abandon you. You think about it, right? Like those of you that are watching this that know me, at one point, like in my life, I learned as a young man that everybody who loved you is going to eventually abandon you. And so I've kept that ideology my entire life, my business relationships, you know, like everything. And so I learned the art of advertising. That's really what's got me where I'm at so far in life. Is in 2009, I started learning the art of advertising. And the thing about advertising is if you have a steady flow of inbound leads, then you don't need referral sources. You don't need relationships with anybody. You just fucking bring in brand new leads all day, every day. And you just like, you convert them into warm people. Some will, some won't. So what? You keep rolling. But from my perspective, like that was what I didn't rely on relationships. I didn't rely on people. I just relied on advertising to build my entire fucking empire to this point. Multiple millions of dollars. It's all been relied on advertising. But today, I learned something. I learned a missing link that I've had in not just my business, but my life. You see, Dustin's a different person than I am in the sense of how we've evolved. We both came from humble beginnings, but he's a different person I am. It's like I rely on advertising and I'm a lone wolf. I'm like, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. Dustin, on the other hand, is a relationship guy. He's built all these relationships with people and he's built these great like referral sources and all this stuff. And I'm not saying one is better than the other when it comes to making money, but one is definitely better when it comes to the stress factor. Dustin's going to wake up tomorrow and Dustin's going to wake up tomorrow and he's going to have the same referral relationships that he had yesterday. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I got to go advertise to find new people. Sure, I got some referral relationships, but because I've been abandoned and fucked over my entire life, I'm not trying to build referral relationships. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get fucked by the people that I'm doing business with now. Because that's the mentality. Again, at 7 years old, if your dad leaves you and don't give a fuck about you, how is anybody else on the planet going to give a fuck about you? And that's stuck in my head for forever, man, subconsciously. And I try to escape it, but it bleeds over everywhere. But today, I saw Dustin in like, you know, I've worked with the guy. He's been a client of mine for years. We've done plenty of events together and everything else. But I see him in his element, making not just friends with people, but making connections with people. And it's funny because my whole life, I've gone into situations, I'm like, oh, you're my competitor? Fuck you, I'll punch you in the face. And Dustin goes into situations like, we're not competitors, bro. We should be friends and figure out what you don't want to do that I can do and vice versa. And it's a whole new mindset for me because I never fucking was taught that as a young man. I was never given that opportunity as a business person. I was always given the opportunity. It's like, hey man, if you want to go fucking climb to the top of the mountain, you're going to have to drag some motherfuckers to the bottom on the way down, on the way up. And Dustin's got the mentality of, if you want to get to the top of the mountain, there's got to be 4 or 5 of you share the peak. And man, it just changed my entire perspective today. Like all my life, I've been fighting. And I'm talking about fighting. Like fighting fucking competition, fighting fucking attrition. I've been fighting for my fucking way to the top. I've been fighting through everything like all my life. Not just in the internet marketing business, not just in the sales realm. I'm talking about in fucking prison. I'm talking about as a youngster. I'm talking about coming up in the neighborhood. I've been fighting and I've had this mentality of either lay down or get down. You're either gonna lay down and let us run this shit or you're gonna get down with us. And I realized today, 37 years of my life, I've been fighting the wrong motherfuckers for the wrong reasons. because it's a whole hell of a lot easier just to fucking collaborate with people instead of competing with people. It's a lot easier to make friends than it is enemies, believe it or not, even in today's day and age. And so, you know, over the years, instead of turning somebody into a referral source, which is what Dustin does really well, he's like the best I've seen at it, I turn people into competition and ultimately an enemy. And how fucking detrimental to my career has that been? Like, let's just take business off the table. How detrimental to my life has that been? Instead of bridging relationships, I've been burning fucking competition and creating shit that didn't need, because that's what I know. You walk into the fucking penitentiary, you're not trying to mend relationships, you're trying to beat motherfuckers' ass and tell them what's up. I didn't walk into prison and be like, hey, who wants to be my friend? I walked into the fucking wing and I had to get in a fight to see what was up. See who wants to fucking, you know, it was like, hey, who wants a shot at the title? Me, I'm a fucking idiot, I'll take it. But business isn't the same, man. And we walk into this business world and most people just want to collaborate. They want to be your friend. They don't want to compete. It's easier to get along. But I never had that mentality, because all the circles I've been in my entire life, from my family to my sphere of influence to prison to whatever the fuck, has been a consistent fight. It's been a fight. It's like fight or flight, survive. Matter of fact, I was talking to my attorney 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about some business precautions we were taking. And he said, well, man, you know, the difference is I'm doing this right, Ryan, because I've been in real life situations. All your life, you've been in high intensity fight or flight relationships. Just trust me, this is how the normal world works. That shit was a lot for me to swallow, because I have been in these situations my entire life. But today, I learned that it's easier to build a bridge than it is to set that motherfucker on fire. Sounds like, you know, maybe if you got construction and shit, it may not be. But metaphorically, in the business world, it's easier to build a bridge than it is to burn a motherfucker down. And I've had to make that shift today. And so the lesson is, for all of you out there, is a lot of you look at people's competition just like me. You look at people as a threat to your business, a threat to your position and everything else. But maybe they're not a threat. Maybe they're a treat. Maybe they're an added bonus. Maybe they're supposed to be there for a reason. You know, I wrote an article the other day on hardcorecloser.com talking about crabs. Maybe you got crabs. And I was honest in that article, and I talked about how I used to be a crab. But maybe nobody's a threat to your business, because only you can be you. That's what Carl White told me a couple days ago. But maybe you are the one that converts somebody who would be a referral source into your competition because of ego. I know I do it. And today, I learned that lesson. I saw Dustin at work for about the 100th time. This ain't our first time to do our shit. And I thought, man, I've got to make that mind shift. And I've got to start making that shift in my life if I'm going to grow, because I can't consistently create enemies when I can, just for the same amount of effort, create raving fans who want to see my brand roll. And so I guess this is what they call maturity, or growing up, or evolving. And it's a lot to take from me, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm an immature motherfucker, right? If somebody farts, I think it's funny. And you know, this whole growing up thing is like having to wear a suit today and all that shit. I'm doing my best at it. You know, it's like one day you wake up, you're 37 years old, you're like, oh fuck, I'm a real life grown up now. Shit, I gotta start acting that way. And one of the things that I learned today about being a grown up is the relationship aspect of it. I've known that people have referral sources and stuff like that, but I've always relied on advertising, because I'm like, these people are just gonna bolt on me anyway. But the mind shift that I had today, and it's been a long day. I got on an airplane at 4 this morning, and it is 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just now about to pull into my neighborhood. But having this whole trip and all the work, and if I told you what we did today, you wouldn't even believe me anyway. It's just crazy, the meetings and the people that we spoke with today and the things that we're about to do in the music industry. That's another video. But the relationship aspect of this is something that, man, I have overlooked. And I have fought tooth and nail, and I have been like this lone wolf, but that stops today. So I just want to share that with you guys. Maybe you're creating competition and enemy and conflict, in places that you shouldn't either. Maybe it's time for you to take inventory like I did today. So I'm about to pull into the neighborhood. I'm tired as hell. You know, man, I feel like when I put a suit on, it's like when you put a leash on a dog for the first time. This shit don't feel right to me. So I've been unfeeling all day today, and I'm about to get my fat pants on. That's what I'm talking about. So later, you guys.